Black's queen is attacking your rook. So what will you play over here as white? So most of you must have thought of moving this rook somewhere on the h file or maybe on the g8 square, but all of these moves will not help you improve your position in the game, because do not forget that you are playing against a queen. Queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard, and when you are playing against a queen with your two rooks, then you have to understand that you have to find a way to increase the power of your rooks, and the only way that you can do that is by connecting these rooks on the same file or rank. Now if you get this rook over here, then though the rooks would be connected, but together they wouldn't be doing anything to put pressure on your opponent's position. Also understand that black's king is stuck in the back rank. This bishop is currently pinned. Your white bishop is doing a good job of controlling this key square next to the king. So black's position is slightly cramped up. So in this situation, how can you find a move which increases the power of your rooks and maintains the pressure on this cramped up position? Well, therefore, the winning move over here is rook e to h2. Yes, we are going to connect the rooks on the h file, and by doubling up these rooks, we have increased their power and we are still maintaining this pin on the back rank. Now black really wants to get out of this uncomfortable position. So the best move for black to play over here is king to d7, and what he's telling you is, hey, I'm going to capture your bishop, and if you want my bishop, well, go ahead and do that, but at least I'll be out of this cramped up position. So what should white do over here? White's bishop is under attack. Should white defend his bishop by moving it somewhere, or white should go for the exchange? Well, let's calculate. If the bishop moves over here, then white loses a pawn. So that's not a good move. If bishop comes over here in order to protect the pawn, then you are giving your opponent a chance to counter attack your pieces with the move bishop to g7. It not only attacks your rook, but is also forming a battery on this open diagonal along with the queen, and the queen is now ready to jump on this square to start attacking your king. So that doesn't look good white for either. So bishop to b6 is a complete no-no. What if you get your bishop to the b8 square? Then again you lose a pawn for nothing. If you get your bishop over here, then again you're losing a pawn, so it doesn't make sense. This isn't a safe square for the bishop. If you move it over here, then again you're losing a pawn, and if it comes over here, then again the same story. So therefore, the best move for white over here is to go for the bishop exchange. So rook takes bishop, king takes bishop, and now look at the situation on the board. The king has come to a place where the squares in front of him are being controlled by our pawn. And look at the position of this rook. This is already putting some pressure on this pawn. So now, since it is white's turn to play, how can we use the power of our rooks to put more pressure on our opponent? So the only way we can put more pressure is by playing rook to h7. Now both the rooks are putting a lot of pressure on this pawn. If black does nothing over here and plays a random move, then you can simply go on winning this game with rook takes pawn check, forking both the pieces, queen takes rook, rook takes queen, and black has lost all of his chances. So let's go back. Therefore, black has to do something over here. So what can black really do over here? Now he will just simply try to waste your time with repeated checks. So queen f2 check, you simply get your king to d3, and now queen f1 check, and now you can get to any one of these squares. Best is king to d2, and now queen f2 check, king d3, queen f1 check. The opponent is trying to get a draw with threefold repetition, so be careful. Now you can move it to king to c3, queen e1 check, and now king comes to b2. Now black cannot afford to capture this free pawn, otherwise he's simply losing to rook takes pawn check. The only way to block is with the queen, and now rook takes queen would be a checkmate. So therefore in this situation, black will move his king, but now you can simply capture the pawn with a check. King moves to e6, rook f6 check, king moves to e5, and now rook captures pawn, queen goes to b4, and now the other rook comes on the 6th rank. They have again formed a battery, so both the rooks are just inseparable. Queen goes to g4 in order to protect the pawn, and now a5, and now here I'll stop the game because as you can already see how these two rooks have managed to appear more powerful and dominating than the opponent's queen. So when you're playing against a queen on the board with your two rooks, make sure that you double them up on the same file or rank so as to outpower your opponent's queen. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. And now here is the question of the day for you. White has played g6, attacking our black king and also threatening to get a pawn on the board. So what should black do over here? Will you capture the pawn, or is there a better move on the board? Let me know your answers in the comments box, and I'll see you in the next video.